always good to have you on the program. I wanted to talk about, firstly, this Independence Day conference that you attended in Cincinnati, the point of which was, as I understood it, to choose one independent candidate to support. And as I understand it, based on my reports from Daniel Kingery and some press releases from Richard Clark, the organizer of this conference, that didn't exactly happen.
That's right. I left partway through the last debate that was going on. Actually, wasn't a debate so much as a presentation of our positions and viewpoints. But I had to leave, so I did not finish the entire program on Sunday. And I didn't know exactly what happened after I left until I, read some of the follow-ups on the internet. But my understanding going in was that it was going to be practice for us. It was going to be a way to help hone our presentations and get some public speaking experience if we hadn't had any. And it was just a good thing to do for all of us. We all went into it looking at it being a good experience one way or the other. They had talked about doing some elimination. And of course, this would be totally unofficial. Nobody has authority to say you're out or you're in.
Of course.
But it was supposed to be somehow grading us and picking out who would be the best candidate. But since I didn't stay till the very end, I didn't know whether I was 2, 3, 1, or whatever.
Right.
But I do understand Daniel's concern. I did read, or I did listen to your interviews with him before, during, and after the Independence Day meeting.
You're referring to Daniel Kingery, the presidential candidate who claimed he was eliminated on Saturday when there weren't supposed to be any eliminations. He says that he was eliminated because he looks more like a homeless person than a presidential candidate. The fact that he's got a beard and maybe was wearing faded jeans and wasn't wearing a suit, he says might have been the reason he got eliminated. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know what? On Saturday, our practice day, I didn't realize that somebody had told him he was eliminated because he was there Sunday, and he did start participating with us at the forum on Sunday during the public presentation. So I did not realize that anybody, and particularly him, had been eliminated on that first day. So it's just kind of a crazy thing that happened, and we're just going to put it behind us because we do have 3 more Independence Day conferences coming up. One in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, May 3rd and 4th.
Right, the State of the World Conference.
Right, and then there's the Mount Rushmore meeting, June 7th and 8th, and then Washington, D.C., July 4th. So I think all of us are looking forward to those coming 3 meetings. And the one in Wilkes-Barre is going to be organized by another person. So that will be interesting to see what transpires there.
Well, I think one of the issues that Daniel Kingery did bring up, and I think you might have some insight into this, is the issue of electability. Perhaps the organizers felt, and this was the impression that Daniel got, was that people didn't see him as being electable. Is that fair?
Well, what is fair? Throughout American history, people of America have voted for basically leaders to begin with. They're basically educated people that they're voting for. In early founding father America, these were sometimes merchants, they were lawyers, they were businessmen, they were gentlemen farmers, they were landowners. But by and large, they were all educated. Throughout our history, and your Canadian history too, you have voted for people that had formal education of one form or another.
That's true.
And so I think looking at a person, looking at their bio, looking at their background, one of the things you want to look for is, what kind of education does this person have? And secondly, what kind of a family? What's his family history? What's his religious history? These are all things that Americans as voters are going to be looking at, or they should be looking at. And appearance, unfortunately, is one of the deciding factors. I mean, a lot of people were really pro Mitt Romney because he looked very presidential.
He was a very attractive man, I have to say.
Yeah, he's very, it looks the part.
I can't believe I just said that.
And then, then there's others that didn't look the part, like Dennis Kucinich. I mean, Dennis dyes his hair. He's a little guy. He doesn't look like he's a leader type. and America has said no to Dennis Kucinich several times.
And with good reason, I think.
And then there's Barack Obama. I mean, he's a black man, a man of color, and it's time. You know, I would have voted for Colin Powell several years ago if he had run for president. Had my vote. Hillary Clinton, a female. She's not the first female to have run, also, because there were others as vice presidential candidates that were, going up to the top office. And then there's been many female leaders in Britain, in Israel, and other countries as well. So, is it time for a woman? Maybe. Personally, not this one. But
she does seem a little crazy. I don't know. Is it just me, or does she seem to get crazier and crazier every week?
Oh, God help us, not this one.
Oh, man. Hillary Clinton on PMS is legitimately a frightening thought to contemplate. I don't think I can deal with that.
Well, today I was just watching when you called the Compassion Forum, and I'm thinking, compassion? Politicians? Give me a break. So it was just kind of silly to have something named the Compassion Forum. Here, the Democratic candidates are saying how compassionate they are. And actually, if you go on my website, you'll see that that survey that shows the percentages of voters, or people that were surveyed rather, how they ranked veterinarians, teachers, lawyers, and politicians. And I think compassion was one of the top ones. And it was like the politicians have like a 4% approval, and I think veterinarians had, I don't know, maybe like an 80% approval. So,
well, you're in good shape then. I guess my point about the conference was that it didn't turn out to be the conference that we thought it was. I believed they were going to choose one candidate, and then Daniel Kingery said he was kind of concerned and kind of felt that, it was a good experience, but it didn't actually play out like it was supposed to. Are you convinced, Mr. Allen, that it was actually a worthwhile conference?
Well, I'm definitely glad I went. I really am. If I had not gone, I would have always wondered, what went on, how did it go, and so on. I think we all got some valuable practice and experience. I was really disappointed on the total lack of national news media coverage. I thought that was, that's crazy. And here again, even like Bill O'Reilly are saying, well, these are your three candidates, America. You're going to have to pick one of these three people for president. And it's like they're all saying, there's nobody else. There's nobody else. And the more you tell a lie like that, the more people are going to believe it.
Bill O'Reilly was lying?
Well,
I can't believe this.
All right. But, that's the thing. When you tell people constantly, day after day, that these are the only three people, and also our national, absolutely liberal news media is giving so much time and attention and face time and soundbite to these three candidates, these three senators, that's been going on since, before 2007. That's been going on well over a year, and I think people are getting, waterlogged.
Well, I was actually just thinking, it's entirely possible that the only media outlet in North America to cover this conference was Something Cool News.
I hear that. Boy,
how scary is that?
I'm really glad that I'm on your program, because I think that's cool. It is that our media is not, even out of curiosity, even out of simple curiosity, looking at some of the independents, at least some of the, you could say, viable independents. This goes back to our conference, too. There were here. There was Richard Clark. Rob Jorgensen appeared late. I think he was driving from South Carolina. Joe Oliva was there. Bill Ingram, myself, Don Allen. Chris Wolchik was there. Christopher Papa-Smith, Richard Fleehardy, Daniel Kingery, Jim Sheet. Those are the 10. And, when I met these people, and I had not even corresponded with anyone other than Richard Clark before regarding Independence Day and independence in general, everybody that I met there, all 10 of these people, are good Americans. They are sound, politically motivated people that are trying hard to bring about a new beginning for America. And I'm coining that phrase, vote for a new beginning.